Let's dance. I'm Max Garcia, and today we are talking about the Jeffrey Epstein Filthy Rich docuseries. 4 episodes out now on Netflix, kind of trying to unravel the enigma of Jeffrey Epstein, who was a complete sexual predator, pedophile. That when this story goes in depth with some great storytelling, you still don't get the full picture of how prodigious this whole chain was. And it was a messed up chain. So Jeffrey Epstein kind of starts his life going to college, doesn't graduate college, goes to a job in Wall Street, lies on his application, but gets hired, then does a whole little fake scheme in Wall Street, but then continues to go up higher with more and more money, where he's this wealth manager of a bunch of different like millionaires and billionaires. And it's like, where did Jeffrey Epstein get all this money? And then you have like Ghislaine Maxwell, who hasn't been accused of anything, and like it reminds you that like the end of every episode, Ghislaine Maxwell denies all reports, and you obviously know she's guilty. Just like Carol Baskin in Tiger King, the male is caught in jail and kind of doesn't really have much life anymore. Like talking about, Joey Exotic, but, Jeffrey Epstein's not dead. We'll talk about that in a second. But we have Carol Baskin and Glenn Maxwell just out there in the world free. Even though they've done some pretty messed up stuff, which I believe. And Jeffrey Epstein, the way he got his money is weird, but he has like these mansions in New York City, New Mexico, West Palm Beach, and his own private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And you know what, like a funny story of that is? Bill Clinton went to his island, and not everyone who went to the island took place in the Jeffrey Epstein whole chain of abusing these younger women, kind of some of them raping, just sexual harassment, but not everyone that went to the island took place in that. But Bill Clinton denies everything related to Jeffrey Epstein. Very interesting. Even though there's eyewitness reports of Bill Clinton being there and like literal paper copies of Bill Clinton being on the jet to the island. Jeffrey Epstein, just such a weird chain of people. Like, look at this photo right here. That's like the Prince of England, or like Andrew, like David Andrew or something like that. And supposedly, after this picture was taken, where you do see like Ghislaine Maxwell, the victim says she was like raped and sexually abused, but the prince or Maxwell deny both of that. And when you see that picture, yeah, you wonder what happened, right? And you could tell that this Jeffrey Epstein goes way back to like 1996 and didn't fully get like in jail until like 2019, because Alex Acosta was handling, like he's like some FBI dude, was handling the West Palm Beach case in like 2010 or something. And then Jeffrey Epstein claimed for this plea deal which shortened his time to like 1 year or like 9 months or something. And then you hear this Jeffrey Epstein was like not even serving the jail time because he's like in his house, like what? And then Alex Acosta gets hired by Donald Trump to be like head of agriculture or something similar to that. He's since resigned, but super weird. And if the sexual pyramid scheme wasn't interesting enough, then you go to Jeffrey Epstein's parent suicide. It could have been a homicide. We just don't know. So Jeffrey Epstein finally got accused, especially because of this hashtag #MeToo movement, which started in 2018, which is great and all. Of course, people like standing up to their past abuses, which is obviously super important. Jeffrey Epstein's in jail, and oh yeah, by the way, one major factor that Jeffrey Epstein's in jail is due to a Miami Herald reporter, so good job to local journalism there. So while Jeffrey Epstein is in jail, supposedly the security cameras don't work. Security guards are asleep, and while those two things are happening, Jeffrey Epstein hangs himself with his clothes off his bed and breaks like his jaw, which is kind of weird. In a hanging, it's not too usual. And people are wondering, like, Jeffrey Epstein had some big blackmail on a bunch of people. He's been seen with Donald Trump and some other famous people. I just know. Jeffrey Epstein's island is now like a tourism attraction. I don't know, his life's super weird. Docuseries super good. If you don't know the story of Jeffrey Epstein, you have to know, because it's a total enigma, and that's so interesting. Just like Joey Exotic, like, how do people live these lives? Like the Tiger King, the sexual pedophile who had so much blackmail for 20 years that he never got arrested. I don't know how the world works apparently with these people. I'm gonna give it a 9.7. I wish they talked about the murder or like the suicide a little bit more, because like that's so interesting, but like everything else needed to have its screen time. That's it. Thank you for watching. Make sure you bless and peace out.